What's up, Harry, y'all? Oh, what's up, Ham Radio? Q8 Papa Zoo November. I am not drunk today. Uh,
Drunk on the Dr. Pepper.
I'm just pulling a little shenanigans for the shenanigan. Happy shenanigan. But what is this? Ham Radio shenanigan hour. I don't even know where I'm at. I don't even know where I'm at tonight. Oh. You listen, you ain't did an activation until you've had somebody calling you like I just came into the stream. That's when you know you're activated. But really quick, let's give a shout out to the Patreons. And if any of you guys have called me like that, that means you're a really cool person. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything you do for me. You guys keep me going and all that cool stuff. Also, shout out to these guys right here, the Adventure Club. I did not see any off-stream donations, so that means you guys are liking the positions you're in, but I appreciate you just the same. So what is going on, Dan, man?
Man, not a lot. Did a little bit of activating this weekend, a lot of hunting. Waiting for Amigo David, Hotel India 8 Delta, or AKA November Kilo 4 Quebec, is here in the States. He'll be here on Tuesday.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. And you know what? I am feeling accomplished. Not because anything that I did on the radio, because the band conditions just suck once again. This is the third straight shenanigan hour that I have fussed about band conditions because it's been 3 weeks of absolutely crappy radio. But they're just still sucking. But I'm feeling accomplished because when I started doing CW, all kinds of people got into doing CW. And that makes me feel good. But one of them, aka Whiskey Delta 4 Delta Alpha November, has done his first ever CW activation.
I did it yesterday afternoon, and I did another one today.
Good stuff. Better watch, man. It gets addicting.
I've heard that. Yeah.
It gets very, very addicting.
I was on 40 meters today, just having fun, answering people, and all of a sudden somebody just out of the blue started calling CQ over the top of me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, guy.
They kind of do that too. It's kind of, there's no vids in CW, right?
Right. Yeah, of course not.
Yeah. What's going on, George? Good to see you out there in the chat tonight.
Yeah.
So did the activations go pretty good and pretty smooth?
It did. I'm still asking for repeats of call signs, but slowly grabbing a couple call signs I got just threw my brain for a loop, but we got through it. And,
listen, I have yet to do an activation where I spot on POTA where I have not used plenty of question marks. So,
oh yeah.
I mean, you can get used to it. It's going to happen for a while because it ain't stopped for me for sure. So there's Kent. Listen, so we did a club activation today, and Tristan was actually on the mic, and a bunch of people came in at one time, and the bands were just horrible. And he's like, I didn't hear nobody. I was like, Q9 or Alpha Echo Echo. and he threw it out there, and sure enough, right there was Kent. And them guys, they all crack up every time we go out because it's funny. I'll tell them what call sign called and who it's going to be before they even type anything in. So,
well, you're the 40-meter whisperer.
It's fun. It's funny stuff. But yeah, the conditions was not ideal for a club activation. We didn't even make a single 20-meter contact today.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Hey Kevin, what's going on, buddy? See you in there.
Definitely not what I wanted for a club activation. But we're gonna do that once a month. We're gonna do a club activation and trying to get the club a little more active in POTA. So it's good stuff.
The bands have been opening up when the sun starts to go down, which is weird. Like right around sunset, 20 meters will just open right up.
Yeah, well,
and 40.
20 meters don't ever open up in West Virginia very well, but 40 opens up quite well in the evening for me. Still, even though yeah, I don't know, I've just been really discouraged with the band conditions because we're on the up cycle, and the last 3 weeks I feel like it's worse than when I started. So,
Well, hopefully it's just temporary.
yeah, and I'm sure it is. We've had a lot of storms and everything like that. Oh, good evening, Reed. Good to see you in the chat tonight. Reed has quite a bit of luck on 20 meters. He's got some kind of magic propagation button, I think. He pushed it when he goes out and he turns it back off.
Maybe he borrowed Terry's magic carpet antenna.
He won't. He won't let me use his propagation button.
Is that an add-on? That must be an add-on for the DX10.
I don't even really know what radio he uses.
When you're in Dayton, you should talk to the Azu guy about getting the propagation chip.
Yeah, I mean, in the top secret Yaesu POTA King Edition radio that they're going to release here soon. It's a handheld, and it runs on a 9-volt battery, and it'll do 1,500 watts HF, and it has a button that'll call an Uber for you.
Very nice.
So I am going to try to get them to add a propagation button to it.
And no matter who you call, it opens up a direct path between you and them,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I know I'm not supposed to speculate about radios, but I did talk to John, and he told me if I wanted to release that story that I just gave y'all, that I was welcome to. So, and that is a true story. He did tell me I was welcome to release that, and then laughed about like Dan did. Oh, funny stuff! Funny stuff.
That's great.
Oh, but yeah, that's the one good thing about getting into CW right now when the bands are bad. You still can make CW contacts fairly easy. There have been a few days that I even struggled with those, though. So
I got, hey, Craig, how you doing, buddy? November 4th, Charlie Whiskey Bravo. I got him. He was actually in a park in New Hampshire. He's on some crazy road.
He's on the crazy wingnut Bravo Road.
But he was actually in a park that is about 5 minutes away from the lake I'm going to this summer, and the park he was in is one of the ones I'm hoping to kilo this summer. I thought that was pretty cool.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, he's on his way to Dayton. He's just on a roundabout trip to get there.
Yeah.
So he'll be in Dayton, and I got to bring him a challenge going to Dayton. So he tells me I can't look at my POTA stats, so I don't know.
Still,
yeah. Listen, I've talked to them, and that they've tried a lot of stuff. It's not that they haven't tried to fix it, okay? But they've tried several things, and I even told them, I said, listen, whatever stat it is, wipe it off my log. I don't care. I need the rest of my stats. Like the whole point in me doing POTA, is number one is to get into the outdoors and do radio, because I'm an outdoors person and I love to do radio. But my big obsession is not the Rove. It's not the all the parks I do. It's not the crazy numbers, but kind of it is, because it's the stats. I like the stats of it all, and that's my big thing. I like to compete with myself and push myself harder. And it was quite funny. Speaking of pushing myself harder, I got to give my buddy Randall from the club. He was at the meeting today, and I said, Randall, I love to talk to you about this. But I was like, you remember back in December when I told you I was going to do 5,000 CW contacts, and you told me that was an awful lot. I said, I'm setting about 8,600 and some, I think. So I think I've got it.
Yeah, I would say you met the goal. Yeah.
He's
overachiever.
He's like, man, that's just crazy. But we had a good time at the activation, even though the bands wasn't good. Anytime you get together with your club and hang out and shoot the crap, it's a good time. So we're gonna start doing that once a month, because I think it needs to be done. I think And one of the ladies who just got her technician, she she said, "When are we going to do winter field day again?" And of course, me and Tristan, being the gentlemen that we are, looked at her and was like, "In the winter?" She's like, "It don't gotta be the winter." We're like, "To do winter field day, it does."
Oh my
And
god!
she's like, "No, we just need to go somewhere and camp and do the radio." We're like, "Oh, okay. You want to do like a little expedition? We can do that too, but that's not going to be Winterfield Day." So
Charlie Golf Charlie's in the chat.
good stuff. Good
Kapow.
stuff. So funny story about Terry, who's in the chat.
Oh,
Terry calls into the club activation in the middle of a CQ, and and all we heard him say was, "You're 3-3. I got you 3-3." And Tristan came back to him and said, "The 3-3 station, I need your call." Nothing. Didn't hear nothing. And I know it was Terry because I knew the voice, but I wasn't going to say it was him. And then he called back a little bit later. He's like, "Yeah, I hunted you guys earlier, but I'm not sure if you heard me or not. You're 3-3 over here." And as soon as he said it, I started laughing. So, Mike, thank you very much for the 919 who also got in the club log today. I had a couple people message me like, "That's not you working your club call." I'm like, "No, it's a club call, so there's more than me." I was there, and I was using my ears for them, but there was a lot of different people on the radio. So, thank you very much for that super chat, Mike. I appreciate it.
how many people did you have out?
Let's see. We ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
Not bad.
not bad. There was a couple more that were supposed to be there, but didn't get to make it. I don't know what happened, but hopefully they'll be there next month. We're going to do it every month, like I said. So
Good deal.
we're gonna get some stats built up with that Whiskey 8 log. It was a good time. Good time. And it was funny because when Tristan worked the Pearsons, he's not used to them saying all three or nothing. And I went ahead and I typed in all three of their call signs in there. And he's like, "Okay, I'll hold for the second operator." So they ended up all going through it. But it wasn't that busy, so it wasn't a big deal. Yeah, definitely wasn't that busy. We didn't make that very many contacts. I was shocked, and
But not a single one on 20.
not a single one.
Wow.
And there was a guy up there that rode his bike, and he was complaining because his radio on his bike's not been getting good signal lately either. So I mean, I'm guessing that could work off our propagation as well, maybe. Because it is AM and FM. So I mean, I'm guessing that would be about the same thing, but yeah,
What were y'all using for an antenna?
That's a pretty dumb question.
Well, I didn't know if y'all used something else other than the Eagle One. So.
Nah, we used Eagle One. I was going to throw up an in fed halfway in case the new guy come, but he didn't come, so I'm glad I didn't throw it up. But yeah, we just used Eagle One.
Yeah.
But we did, however, have to deal with a Jeep that needs to change its plugs or something. Because every time that thing would come by, our noise floor would raise about +2. You'd hear it coming before it came because the radio would just go way up there.
Here it comes again.
I'm like, dude, are you really cruising the park? Are you 15?
That's what you're supposed to do, isn't it?
And then, of course, every redneck Joe that drove a truck or a motorcycle up there by us, they're driving normal, and as soon as they see you're on the radio, they rev the engine as hard as they can and take off. What possesses somebody?
It's the real life lids.
I mean, what? I mean, I'm like, are you 80 meters in real life? That's a great T-shirt. I am making that T-shirt. Are you 80 meters in real life?
Yeah, you're 7,200 IRL.
That is going to hit the Ham Radio Adventure Guy store It's got to hit it fast.
7,200 IRL. Yeah, that'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Cause I mean, seriously, what? Why are you going to drive regular and you look over and you see somebody on the radio and you just want to show them that your truck is you got way too much money in the muffler in it? I mean, is that the thing? I'm like, I can go start my truck and I'm loud as you are. I promise.
You don't have any extra mods either. It's just that rust.
That is called West Virginia grounding. Okay,
That's right. DB. That's right.
you know, I have people who email me all the time wanting to know how I ground my antenna, and it is with West Virginia salt on West Virginia roads, which makes West Virginia rust, and it grounds everything perfectly.
All right. Oh, that is great. Oh my goodness.
I'm pretty sure Tristan gave Charlie Golf Charlie a 5.72, and he definitely was a 5.9.
I don't know. Have you ever heard Chris not a 5.9? I'm trying to remember. I don't think so.
So, but yeah, we definitely had a good time. So you're going to be activating with David on Tuesday, huh?
Yep, David and Annabelle. So we'll probably hit some 10 meters at least. And yeah, probably a late shift because they're probably going to get in the evening. And going to check and see if Eddie and Robbie want to come down here to my local park instead of us driving up there. Because I'm sure after David and Annabelle being in the car driving for 8.5 hours from Miami area, they probably don't want to drive very far at all when they get up here and get settled in their hotels.
You should just have Annabelle call with your call. You just take it easy.
Yeah, I can do that.
I've heard a woman voice call your call before.
Yeah,
it sounds a lot like yours.
Right. Yeah, it does. That happened down in Florida.
Yeah, except for when you're doing your push button stuff, and then you stole my voice.
Chris said Robbie and Eddie gave him a plus 15 on 40 watts. That's crazy.
Chris, that plus 15 was when you contacted them on FT8.
Probably.
She was like, what? Yeah, funny stuff.
But yeah, we're going to have some fun. We're going to hang out, get some dinner, and play a little radio, and then they'll be on their way up towards Dayton.
Okay, James, did you get that?
Oh, Terry's on a roll again today.
No, Terry, it's a POTA hat, so I'm afraid not.
Terry, man, we missed you last week because I wore the special T-shirt just for you, and you weren't here in the chat.
He did, and I'm wearing it today, and he ain't even washed it. He just shipped it to me, not washed, and he's like, "Wear this so Terry can make fun of you."
Yeah. You let us down, man. You let us down.
Oh, and Terry, I did get your text when I come out of the parks today. For some reason, the phone signal wasn't working today for me either. I sent a couple of people messages to spot me, and they probably got like 50 messages at one time. Dan said he got 3 at one time, and so.
Yeah, I got 3, so I spotted you 3 times. Yeah.
You probably spotted me at the wrong park. I don't know. I may have done that today. I don't know, but I don't think I did. I think somebody just respotted me at the wrong park.
Thanks for the new park.
But I know for a fact that I know for a fact that I changed it myself, and I went back a couple minutes later, and somebody had already respotted it to the old park. That I do know. So.
Did it raise your eyebrow any when everybody kept saying, "Hey, thanks for the new park"? It's like, wait a minute, I've been here hundreds of times.
The only person that said it, and he's probably sitting cussing right now because he's just now realizing he didn't get a new park from me today, was Chris. Chris said, thanks for the new park. And that's what made me go check it. I was like, why did he thank me for the new park? He's worked me here like a million times. So, Chris, I hope that was not your one new park of the day, because if it was, you got messed up.
I'm gonna have to start doing that when you're at Chief Logan. I'm gonna say thanks for the new park.
It's crazy because when I had my original Eagle there, I was still getting people to say thanks for the new park, and I'm like, how? But I haven't heard it in a while. So maybe
Wow.
maybe everybody's hunted it now.
That 18 new to you today, Chris? That's not bad at all.
So.
You might want to save some of those for later on in the year.
Yeah. Chris is trying to work a new park every day. And I mean that is definite big time goal, because that's not at what he can hunt. That's at the mercy of, is somebody going to activate a new park?
The truffle butter trail.
I have activated the truffle butter trail before, Kevin. So if it's not in your log, let me know, and we'll try to revisit the truffle butter trail for you.
When Chris first said that one of his goals was a new to him park every day, it kind of went in one ear and out the other. I said, yeah, that's a pretty cool goal. Then I started to think about it, and that's very ambitious. Oh yes, you have your truffle butter, black truffle butter, very nice.
Get him when he can, he said. I mean, I get it, but eventually you're gonna run out of new parks, buddy.
Yeah.
I know. I know. I ain't gonna run out of new parks, but that's because I don't hunt. Poor old Peepee, man. He sent me a text message the other day, and he's like, "Dude, I'm leaving Florida, and you haven't even hunted me one time in Florida."
What?
And I sent him a message back saying the top 3 reasons why I have not hunted you in Florida. I said number 1, or I said number 3, 20 meters don't work very good in West Virginia. Number 2, I'm not a hunter. And the number 1 reason why I haven't hunted you in Florida, turn up your power and stop wasting my time. Yeah.
Oh man.
He called me this morning. I don't even know what he was talking about. He's like, I guess you're not going to Dayton. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I heard on Discord you got pink eye. I was like, did you wake up with the bottles again? I mean, what is wrong with you? He's like, somebody on Discord said you got pink eye. I was like, well, I don't have pink eye, and nobody on Discord said I had pink eye. So I went back in Discord and I looked, and one of the hunters had told me that they didn't see my spot because they had took eye drops because they had pink eye. So that's what happens when you kids.
Ooh.
Do not Knob Creek and Discord at the same time.
That's very true.
Because that's what happens.
So what did they give you for your pink eye?
Dr. Pepper. They said it cures everything and raises your DB.
That's right. Oh, that's hilarious. I guess you're not going to do.
Dude, I had no clue what he was even talking about. I was like, did you wake up with the bottle? What's going on with you? Oh, funny stuff. But anyway, let's see what John is saying here. When are you heading to Xenia? I will be there at Thursday afternoon. Probably, I should be there 1 or 2-ish. I don't know. Well, I take that back. I'll be there by 4-ish because if I say 1 or 2 ish, that means I limit myself to the parts that I can do. But I will be there 4 ish, and I'm thinking I'm gonna do like a HRAG meetup that evening. I want to say like 6, but I don't want to put that in stone just yet. You know, of course, then I probably should. I probably should check and see when they close the gates to visitors too, or if they close the gates to visitors. So, but I will be there. I'll be there Thursday afternoon for sure, and I'll be there all weekend. So I know I think we're coming back there. I don't know what we're doing Friday. Saturday night, I know we're going to the Troll Pub. All the YouTubers are going to the Troll Pub. So if you want to meet your favorite YouTube star or whatever, and if one of us is not your favorite YouTube star, don't show up because you suck anyway. But now we're all going to the Troll Pub Saturday night, and it'll be a good time. As a matter of fact, a lot of the YouTubers that will be at the Troll Pub will be on Ham Radio 2.0 stream tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern. He would tell you that his stream is 7 o'clock Central, but the real time is 8 o'clock Eastern. So we'll be over there, I guess, talking about Xenia.
And if you go to the Troll Pub and you remember that you met somebody at the Troll Pub, you didn't do it right.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. And there will probably be some adult beverages drinking at the Troll Pub. I'm just saying.
Some shenanigans at the Troll Pub. Yes.
There's always shenanigans anytime you get a crew of us around each other and stuff like that. And I always look forward to it. It's a good time. I like meeting the people, that I contact on the radio. Last year at Dayton, I got to meet a whole lot of youths that had contacted me on the radio. So that was always that's always a plus anytime I get to do that. I was hoping that Luke was going to be there, but his dad's going to be there on Friday, but he'll be in school, so he won't be there, and he's just going to be there on Friday. So always a good time.
I believe they might, Terry. And if you ask nicely, they might put some truffle butter spread on that Troll Club sandwich.
A Troll Club sandwich. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I know what I'm eating at the Troll Club. I am eating the Angry Alfredo. And it is very angry, I will tell you. If you don't like angry food, don't eat the Angry Alfredo. But it's also very good.
Like angry spicy?
Angry spicy. Yes. And it's really good with the bourbon and Coke.
Spicy like you regret it the next morning kind of spicy, or what?
I didn't regret it the next morning. So here's the key to eating really spicy food. You drink a lot of adult beverages afterwards, and it nullifies it because you don't have nothing to go to the bathroom with no more.
After about 6 shots of Knob Creek, you really don't care if it was spicy, right?
That's for QRP guys. Now, listen. I'm not a big drinker of any means, so don't think I am. But I do like to indulge a little bit at the Troll Pub because it's a good time. So I get first off, I may not even drink a single thing because I don't know if I have a driver this year or not. If I have a driver, I will drink, and if I don't, I will be responsible and not drink. So
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper without the flames.
Is the Angry Alfredo good with Dr. Pepper?
I'm sure it would be. I'm sure it would be. Angry Alfredo is really, really good. I looked at the menu last year, and that was the first thing that popped out me, and I'm like, that is what I want to eat, because I was starving by the point we got there. Because let's see, we left the show, and I went back to my park and did an activation, and got the activation in, and as I'm going QRT, I hear the car door shut, and I just figure it's Pat because he was staying at the campground last year with me. And then I hear another car door shut, and I was like, "Oh, well, he brought somebody with him." And then around the corner walks Tank Radio, and then here comes Jason. Then here comes Pat, and here comes uh, N8YO, and I was like, "Oh, okay." They're like, "We're here to POTA." I'm like, "There's the rig. I'm done activated." So they all sit down and proceed to get an activation in with my radio and stuff. And then one of them proceeded to break my antenna tuner.
What?
Yeah. Uh, I they're over there. I see N8YO. He's like, dude, your SWR is way high. I was like, no, it's not. I set it myself. I was like, you're like 1 to 1, and I go over there and it is high, and I'm like, well, crap. So I go to tune it back because I'd seen he was having a hard time, and it wouldn't tune, and I was like, well, ain't this just great? So I did get it to tune back 40 just fine, but it wouldn't tune anything but 40. And so the rest of the activation was 40 meters. And I got back home, and that's when I did the old smack trick on the fried MFJ. My old MFJ tuner that I fried when I originally fried the finals on the 991A. I just smacked the crap out of it on the top. It's like, why don't you work no more? And why in the world I just decided to hook it back up? I think I really just wanted to see what it was doing to see if I remembered it right. And it tuned everything up just fine. And I've been using that antenna tuner ever since.
A little persuasion goes a long way.
A little persuasion. And the bad thing is I have a push button antenna tuner right now. I got that after that, but I still most 99.9% of the time. Matter of fact, that push button tuner has never been hooked up on my DX10.
Do you keep it with you in case your other one fails?
No, it's normally sitting right there on the shelf. If my antenna tuner fails, I throw up an in-fed half wave and activate on the resonant antenna, and I'm done.
You'll still be good with your Eagle 1 on 40 with your internal tuner, anyway. So.
But that's the thing, I've got. I don't want to back an extra antenna tuner. I don't. Yeah. That's a little much, but
no, I mean if your external tuner failed, you're still good using your Eagle 1 with the internal tuner for the DX10 on 40 meters.
Right. Yeah. So here's what it is.
That'll be a good test. Just hook the Eagle 1 straight to the DX10 and see if it'll tune. The bands without the external tuner. Let's see how good the tuner is. I don't
know. From past experience, I can tell you sometimes it does and sometimes it don't.
Yeah.
So
I would imagine what the DX10 is probably like a 3-to-1 tuner or something like that.
It is a 3-to-1 tuner, and that's why when people try to say that the Eagle 1 is resonant on 40 meters, I tell them it is not. Because it is not. It's close, but it is not resonant on 40 meters. That's what makes it a random wire antenna. That's why the stickers say you must have an external antenna tuner. Because it says 10. Does it say 10? Yeah, it says 10 through 80 on the, and then it says external antenna tuner required. So, it tells you what it is.
There's some people having trouble tuning 80, but I've never had an issue whatsoever.
A lot of people have problems tuning 80, and that's just because they're using push button antenna tuners.
Well, I use a push button. It tunes 80.
Really?
Yeah. One thing I will say though, if you're having trouble using an auto tuner on 80 meters with the Eagle One, make sure you got a good counterpoise. That's going to help out greatly. I mean, I use the frame of my whole truck. So.
Well, I use the frame of my truck too, but
Plus that rust you got helps out.
I don't know that push button would tune 80 on mine. I don't think it would. I feel like I've tried it, but I'm not going to swear to it. That's why because when I originally got the push button, I was like, well, I'm just going to take this thing everywhere. But it would not tune every band like a manual one will.
Right.
I did have issues on some of the bands, so that's when I went back to the manual. And that one's now I hear that there's different ones in the brand that will tune it. So maybe you've got one that will. But I know
I use the LDG Z11 Pro 2.
I know Andrew and Blake and Ryan, when they first got theirs, they're like, I thought you said this thing will tune 80. I'm like, it will. They're like, it won't. I'm like, it will. So when I went to Tennessee last year and for my meetup, the very first thing we did that night was we activated and we're setting up, and I grabbed my antenna tuner and I was like, we got a push button. I was like, no, I want to show you something. And first thing I do is I tune that sucker right up on 80, and he's like, how did you do that? It's like manual antenna tuner. Yeah, so
yeah.
Here's an interesting story about my meetup last year. So we're on our way to the park for the meetup, and he has a local repeater on his 2 meter, and we're driving down the road, and I hear these two guys talking, and I'm sitting there thinking, I know that voice. And he doesn't say his call sign or nothing. They get done talking, and I'm like, Kilo Delta 9 Oscar Lima Bravo, Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zulu November. And he's like, James? So we're in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm listening on the repeater, and I'm hearing a guy from West Virginia is hearing a guy from Indiana on the Nashville repeater. So it was the weirdest thing ever. And I tried to talk him, and he was about 20 minutes outside of Nashville already. I was like, come back, turn around and come back for the meetup. And he's like, dude, I'm already past it. I'm like, that is just the most random thing.
Yeah.
So it's not something like if you came to West Virginia and you tuned into the Logan repeater, because you're here waiting on me to show up or something, and all of a sudden you hear Kyle talking to somebody, you'd be like, what? Yeah. But that was just one of those moments.
The social director has entered the chat.
I say his name and there he pops in. I see how that works.
Hey, okay. Speaking of that, I don't know. I have an announcement. I'm sure everybody knows so far, but Beetlejuice 2 is slated to come out in 2024. They're making a new Beetlejuice movie.
And I think it was sparked by my Discord chat.
It's going to be awesome.
Because anytime we mentions anybody in the Patreon video rooms, next thing we know, they pop in. So, we'll see you later, George.
See you, buddy.
I will be out activating later, but it'll be much later.
Yeah, we do that. We'll be in the video room. Say, I wonder where Terry is. Terry. Boom, pops right into the chat.
Yeah. Every single time. Yeah, which there's very few people that can do it by calling CQ, but I can do it by calling CQ.
That's amazing.
I've
witnessed this.
I can pull out certain people by calling CQ. It's funny stuff.
Winona's Big Brown.
Is he talking about Winona's Big Brown Beaver?
No, it'll be let's see, Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Jenna Ortega, Johnny Depp, and a couple others probably. I think Jenna Ortega is going to be good to play that part.
Oh, funny stuff.
Kevin wants to know if he's going to catch pink eye if he works you later.
Absolutely, because evidently, I got it or something.
Yeah. Right.
Pink eye.
Oh my goodness!
Like he blew my mind with that this morning. Like I just didn't know what to expect. So
now when I hunt you at Chief Logan, it's thanks for the pink eye and the new park. I'm confused.
Oh.
Toby, hey.
No longer contagious.
That is good. I'm going to shout it out every stream, but Toby, you've been tearing up CW. You're doing a great job.
Absolutely. Another reason to make me feel satisfied in ham radio. I got the POTA Huntress Queen doing CW. Now I'm doing something.
She is definitely drinking the Kool-Aid now.
That's right. Toby's a long time Kool-Aid drinker. It just took her a while before she started chugging into the CW.
Yeah. She was on the regular Kool-Aid before. Now she's on the spiked Kool-Aid.
So yeah, she's been tearing it up, and she don't care, if she misses, because when I spot on POTA, before I hand, I typically will spot in my secret CW group, and I give them a chance to get in there before the big pile up hits, because when I spot on 40 meters, sometimes it's just stupid. It's like you're just listening to FD8 and trying to pull out call signs.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
But Toby don't care. She'll get in the middle of them big pile-ups and she'll get it done. I don't. It's funny because I can't. When she's sending CW, I can't picture her standing on the kitchen table yelling at me though. So it's not as cool.
Yeah.
So
we need to make like a little cartoon character of Toby holding a straight key and going.
If her husband James would kindly take me a picture of her up on the kitchen table with the CW paddle just screaming at it, that'll be it right there.
Oh, that'll be great.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
She's definitely been tearing it up. It's awesome to hear.
We told her, like, look, your contacts will increase quickly. So, I know all my CW hunters are quite impressed with the numbers they've put out this year in CW hunts. But I mean, what happens when the most active activator decides he's going to do CW? You get a lot of contacts.
He's going to set a goal of 5,000, which everybody going to says you're out of your mind. There's no way,
dude. You did your first activation December 31st, and you think you're going to get 5,000 contacts next year?
Right?
Are you crazy?
Oh, my doctor.
Yes, I am. I'm absolutely crazy.
Hold my Dr. Pepper. We'll do this.
It's crazy though. And then you got the other people that'll be like, "Oh, you just didn't set your goal high enough." Really?
You go out there and do it, buddy.
How about you get 5,000 CW contacts?
Oh my goodness!
And that's not even the funniest thing, because that's a very 5,000. If you were just a CW activator, that'd be no problem. But I still am the number one sideband person on Parks on the Air. I still lead sideband by about 5,000 contacts. So, you know, it's not like I'm dedicating all my time to CW because I'm not even close.
Your lead will be bigger if you didn't do that crazy CW all the time.
If I did that, what?
If you didn't do that crazy CW all the time.
Oh, I guarantee it because listen. What in the time that it takes me to make 20 CW contacts, I can make 70 or 80 sideband contacts. Easy.
Oh, yeah.
Easy. Probably in way less time. As a matter of fact, I know if it's a busy time on the air, I can. Because 20 CW contacts, I'm looking at, over 20 minutes, obviously. Because it's going to, obviously it's going to be over 20 minutes. And one night a couple of weeks ago, even when the band conditions was bad, I spotted at 4 minutes till late shift. 4 minutes. And I'm like, man, band conditions are bad. You guys better come. Yeah, okay. 62 contacts later before late shift comes in. I had a new person who started watching the videos and they're like, do you speak in tongues? I'm like, the video you're talking about wasn't even a pileup. That wasn't even nothing. That's you have no idea. Right, that's the fastest I've ever heard anybody talk on the radio. I'm like, no, that's me playing around. I mean, it was I think like a mid-morning activation. So I may have had 50 people. So funny stuff.
I think it'd take me longer than 20 minutes to do 20 CW contacts. That's a lot of question marks for me.
Well, I'm just saying that is a minimum. That's it's.
Yeah.
It takes me longer than that too. Yeah. Probably, I can get the first 8 or 9 out fairly quick because there are 8 or 9 calls that's been calling me since the beginning, and I can work you guys like crazy. But a lot of the new ones that I don't know how they send and stuff like that. But
I have to work on the mental stamina side of it because after about 15, like when I spotted yesterday and today,
your mind warps, doesn't it?
After about 15, somebody with a Foxtrot, Quebec Foxtrot suffix called me, and I looked at the radio like it was speaking Chinese. And I'm like, this makes no sense to me. What are you trying to say?
Dude, I have here in the last week, I was in a pileup that was just absolutely stupid. I mean, just absolutely crazy. And it was just, it warped my head. And somebody came back and I got their whole call and I couldn't get their last letter. And it was just warping my brain. What is that last letter? Why can I not figure out what? And it was so stupid because it's in my call sign.
Those are the letters I have trouble with.
It is my favorite letter in my call sign, and I was just warped over Zulu. I could not get Zulu, and I don't know why, but it was just because I just had went through all this pile of just madness. And
I had somebody call me today with a WD prefix. It was WD5 something. And I looked at the radio, kind of like the deer in the headlight looks. I'm like, what's this guy sending? It's like, oh, it's the same prefix as my own call sign.
What's been messing with me is I've been having Whiskey Delta 4 Alpha Delta Whiskey call me. And every time I hear it, it warps my head. I'm like, why is Dan messing with me? And because here's the thing, it's a newer call and it don't show up a name in my call in my call thing anyway. I'm like, why is Dan messing with me? But no, it's Spencer from Tennessee. Spencer, if you're watching, thanks for the CW contacts, but you warp my mind thinking it is Dan every time messing with me. So funny stuff. But man, there's a couple of calls that I fall in love with the way they just roll out, and when you start getting to that point, and you just hear these calls, and you don't even decode a single letter, you just type it in. Like there's a Victor Echo 3 call that I can type in. I know who it is, and I'm not going to say it, but I can type him in, and he sends his letters probably at about 27, 30 words a minute, which is way above my speed. But he used Farnsworth to where it's down like 15 words a minute. But the letters are like super, super fast, and I still have no problem just because of the way his Victor Echo 3 rolls off. Every single time it's consistent. And he's not using a push button, because I'll question mark him sometimes, and he'll send it back a little different, to try to slow down, but it still has that roll to it. So,
a good call for me. A good call for me that just rolls off my fingertips is Steven's call, Kilo Delta 9 Uniform Delta Victor. I love sending that call sign. It just rolls back and forth.
It's probably because you've heard it so many times hunting me.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, that thing gave me a fit when I first started. It was Joe's November 3 X-Ray Lima Sierra and Stevens, and now they both roll just fine. But I can hear those in my sleep.
Now we'll have to say Kent's in the chat, and that's probably the easiest one. I think I got you today too, Kent. The Kilo 9 Alpha Echo stands out like a sore thumb.
Yes, sir.
That's a pileup. That's a pileup breaker call sign there.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That at the very end. Oh, there's Kent.
I actually had. I wonder how many people will hear the activator send his call sign back to him and hear those two E's, and the pileup comes right back. Like, I'm not done talking to him yet. I didn't say did. I sent EE.
Speaking of shenanigans and the pileup coming, you got me good last night. You got me good when you hunted me. I had to laugh because normally it don't hit as hard as it did last night. You got me good. So Dan hunts me last night, and he's like, yeah, thank you very much for activating tonight. I really appreciate you. 73 QRZ. And I mean, before I could even open my mouth, they hit hard. and the next call, I'm just still laughing about it. I'm like, yeah, he got me.
My goodness.
Always good.
What's up, Mike?
Yeah, I'm so people will call. It doesn't matter. Like, I'll be listening for a really low person. They're probably a 2-2, and I'm trying to pull them out in CW. And because the hunters don't hear him either, they just start calling again. And I'm like, thanks, guys. Thanks. I appreciate you. But yeah, a couple of my favorite ones that's been hunting me lately is November 4 Romeo Kilo. That one rolls very good, and I've said this one since the beginning. Kilo 5 Kilo Hotel Kilo.
Mm-hmm.
That you can't miss them when they call. It's just I love those calls. Good stuff. All right, we got about 5 minutes to the top of the hour, and Frank is next. And after Frank, Jason will be doing his live stream about Dayton, in which I will probably be on unless something happens to me between now and then. So
something like a POTA park.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm gonna wait around for the live stream, I guess. I'm gonna activate after. So my numbers are going to be behind today. So I'm looking at a bad week. I mean, I'll just be honest. My numbers are going to reflect bad this week because tomorrow I've got to work, and then I've got a ball game tomorrow afternoon. And Tuesday, I got to go. I got an appointment Tuesday day, and then I've got to get ready for everything. And then Wednesday, I have to work, and I have to live stream and pack everything up and get ready. So, so that it's going to be a bad week. And of course, the weekend I'm going to be at the show for 3 days. I'm going to activate every day, of course, but
Yeah.
my numbers is definitely going to reflect it a little bit this week. So next week, you know what's going to happen, and that means it's crushing time next week to make up for this week.
Yep, that's right.
But it happens. Maybe by then the bands will be back to normal.
Yep.
Saturday at the Troll Pub. That's right, Kyle.
There you go. The social director has spoken.
Guys, if you're coming to Hamvention, make sure and hit me up. Find me. I'm not hard to find. I'm the ugly guy that comes by the Pota 10 about every 30 minutes to an hour, unless I've snuck off and activated. Not that I would ever do that, but
There's a rumor that he might have stickers.
there is a rumor that I could possibly have some stickers.
Just a few.
There's a rumor that I might have some. So if you don't have one, or if you do, you just lie to me and tell me you don't. And we're all good. We're all friends. These are actually brand new stickers. They are the new logos. So very few people have them. So I guess you're going to have to find me at Hamvention if you want them. Or
just make sure you have some left for.
Or become a Patreon and get one in the mail if you're not coming to Hamvention. So anyway, I will catch you guys on the air after Jason's stream. I'll be on Jason's stream after that. We stream every Wednesday night, and we got a great after chat for the Patreons. You should probably check that out. It can be very interesting at times. So we give free trials to that chat. If you're interested, check it out. And other than that, we'll catch everybody in the log. 73.
73, guys.